Welcome back to Taiwan Now. Join us today is Lucifer Chu. He's the translator of the Chinese version of The Lord of the Rings. Lucifer, we've been talking about the innovation industry of culture, but it's easier said than done.
Yes.
What's the most important part of creating this kind of industry?
Well, I've said that you should listen to the young people out there because a lot of policies were made by the senior citizens in our own country, and they do not actually understand the true market out there. For example, 5 years ago, when I was still holding our fantasy arts award, some of the young kids using the Bajiajiang, a very grassroots culture, to create action figures. And I definitely said that it's going to be the best sellers. You can sell them in Japan, in the United States, because it's your own culture. People would like to understand what is that fighting culture, what is that mythology of that. But I don't have enough money. If I had the money, I will sponsor them. I will try to make it worldwide famous. But after 5 years, another design company in Taiwan is using commercial way to sell people to collecting them in a convenience store. Right? If you go to a convenience store, you can collect those gongzai, bajiajiang, or anything. So the problem is that we have the innovation, we have the creativity, but people out there, they were so old. They were designing in an old way. They would say that, okay, I understand everything, but the culture is changing so fast. There's no way you can catch that unless you truly listen to young people out there.
You keep saying that you have to cherish the unique culture that Taiwan has in order to be globalized.
Yes.
So on the one hand, you are globalized, but on the other hand, you're also localized. How can you mix the two?
Well, I'll say that by saying local culture, I do not mean the only thing came from Taiwan or from China. No, we have a very, very strange culture. Is that we collect a lot of things from Japan, from Korean, from China, from Philippines, from lots of other cultures. You can find all different ideas. For example, our train came from Korea, and our MRT came from French. So we do have several different cultures clashing in Taiwan. So the biggest part is that you got to have to find your own mixed culture. The only thing you have is that it's the only thing in Taiwan. For example, one time I was asked for the news agency in Taiwan to create some kind of commercial film for them. Well, eventually the project didn't work out. But the slogan I provide them is 24. I mean, it's the only thing, it's the only place in Taiwan that you can do everything
24 hours.
24 hours. You got a bowling stadium open 24 hours. You got a Cantonese restaurant open up for 24 hours. You got karaoke open for 24 hours.
Convenience stores.
Convenience store. We are the most crowded convenience store fighting zone in the whole world. Approximately like 2,700 people have one convenience store. So if you try to promote your own country, you should find something only you have, and you are doing the best.
Okay. And you've been saying that we should give the young kids some room for innovation. You're still young, but you've been talking a lot to the younger people.
Yes.
And what do you think the biggest difference between our younger generation and the older ones?
Okay, well, the old one will only say that success is the only thing you got to pursue. But the different thing I'm telling the young kids is that you got to find something you love. Because the whole society is very tough right now. It's very difficult for you to find a job, right? The people are losing their jobs, and a lot of the industry are moving to China, and kind of every industry is moving to China. So there's no way you can find a job very easily. So if you are still trying to find something for you to earn money or be a successful businessman, it's very difficult. But you've got to find something you love. Then, even if you fail, you will know that I'm doing something I love. You will welcome and accept the failure and try to stand up once more.
Going back to the fantasy novels and fantasy, industry. Do you think that we have very good potential in creating that kind of industry?
Well, I should say we had the chance. Well, back in 2002, I visited China, and a lot of publishers there and the website there are still looking for me to be their consultant. But after 3 years, they learned something. They are doing everything by themselves. So we had our chance. We had our chance to control the whole fantasy genre in Taiwan and in China, but not anymore. So we should build up our own fantasy for the next 10 years. If we can be strong, then eventually we can get out of Taiwan. But we have to focus on ourselves.
But we also noticed that other industries, such as TV industries, you know, and also movie industries, or even Chinese sound industries, and so on, Taiwan appears to be very competitive.
Yes.
Right.
But they were people in China were still catching up.
That's right.
They were not sit idly there waiting for us to be the leader. And so I think what we should do is that our government should encourage all those popular programs and all those movie stars and singing stars or singers to actually become more competitive in any way.
So the role of the government is also very important.
They should be encourage people, but not control everything.
That's right.
You know, so I don't know.
And finally, how about sort of psychological preparation for the young kids who are thinking about follow your path,
well,
as a successful translator?
Well, I'll say that just do what you like. If your translation is your dream, then trace your dream and chase your dream. Then do what you like instead of you do not listen to other people. They can provide advice, but advice is only advice. You got to take action, and you got to take action to what you love. That's the only answer.
Yeah, you're still young, but there must be ups and downs in your career, in your life. How do you overcome your
Well, I got a lot of downs.
times.
I got refused by tons of people when I was doing OpenCourseWare, but I know that's what I love. I know if you refuse me, it's your fault, not my fault. I would never say that it's my fault doing this. So I still think passion is the only answer to all those up and downs. Because when you are up, you know your passion. You will not lose yourself. I'm a translator. I'm not a writer. When I was up there, I won't say that, okay, maybe now I should start writing some novels. But when I was down, I know this is my love. This is the only thing I'm passionate about. I should do what I like.
Yeah. And you mentioned earlier that your major was EE, electronic engineering. Now you chose a different path in your career. Have you ever regretted that you wasted your time in
Well, the answer is very interesting. I will say no.
Why
because
not?
I learned a lot of technologies and internet capabilities and community building when I was in electrical engineering department. So I kind of combine everything I learned from the past into one single me. Then I will be the most competitive guy ever, because there are very few translators who study in electrical engineering. So I kind of saying that I won't regret. The biggest challenge for anyone is that you regret something you did, but you know there's no way to go back.
But I assume that many of your classmates now went into the right career, traditional careers. How did they look at you?
Well, they'll say, come on, you are crazy. You are crazy from the moment we know you.
Do they envy you right now?
I won't say that. They got a family right now. You know, I envy their family. Because
I still enjoy your life.
Yeah, well, life is good. So I always say that it's different choices. So I envy them in some way, and they envy me in some way, but we kind of respect each other because we made the choice 10 years ago.
Yeah, but again, for the young kids, sometimes they will find out that it's about time for them to change their career. But that requires courage. What will you say to them?
Well, you just assume that you only got 1 year left to live. What will you do? If you are going to change your job because you love the other job, then do it. Because you are not sure whether you are still alive 1 year later, right? Why waste your time in something you don't love?
But you keep saying that you have to love the things you like, so you choose the things you love. But sometimes most people will say, I don't know whether this is something I love or not. How do you find your true love?
Okay, I would just say you should stop and listen to whatever you are thinking in your own mind. Because, well, I'll quote from Steve Jobs, you already know what you love. It's because the noise outside overcame the whole thing you're thinking. So just stop and listen quietly to what you're thinking. You will know the answer.
Finally, tell us about yourself. You're still young, but you're still a long time to go. Will you be continuing to doing this kind of volunteer jobs, or you have your own dream, a different dream?
Well, I would say I'll keep as crazy as possible. I'll do everything I love and try to enjoy myself and help people at the same time.
And you will do the sequels of the Lord of the Rings in the future?
Well, actually, the translation version in China are going to change to my version because they think my version is better. So actually, I'm going to control the whole Chinese translation of Lord of the Rings in the world.
But again, there are also cultural differences between Taiwan and
Yes.
China. Will there be any slight differences?
There will be big differences. I will spend some time doing that, but I also donate all the royalties I get from that translation version into OpenCourseWare project. So that would not be a for-profit project. That would be something I can enjoy for the rest of my life.
But why do you devote yourself so much to
Well,
public
it
works?
came naturally because I'm so lucky. I earned like $1 million when I was 27 years ago, and almost all my classmates were still working very hard at that time. So I kind of think I borrow money from the whole society. So it's only reasonable for me to return all the money I borrow to the society. So that's not social responsibility. Let's just borrow and give it back.
Yeah. So please make more money and return it
Well, I will
more
try.
to society.
I will try.
And thank you very much, Lucifer. Thank you for coming.
It's my honor.
Okay. And thank you for watching Taiwan Outlook, and see you next time.